What is going on, guys? This is Earpugs, and in this video we have the 7th episode of the How to Kill series. I have already covered the Warrior, Mage, Rogue, Priest, Warlock, and Druid, and now we will be covering the Paladin. I will be covering Retribution and Holy Paladins in this video. First up is a general overview on the class. Now, Paladins are the only class in the game that can dispel poisons, magic, and diseases with one button, making them a high priority to CC, seeing as if you don't, then they will simply dispel all of their teammates out of whatever you're trying to do to them. They also have an ability called Blessing of Sacrifice. This is a very important ability to track, seeing as what it does is it transfers damage from whoever they cast it on to themselves. This lasts 30 seconds and is dispellable. The reason they do this is so they can put it on the kill target, and then once you hit the kill target and you try to CC them, it breaks themselves out of it. They are decently mobile, seeing as they have Blessing of Freedom on top of constant dispels for themselves. Since they wear plate, they have decent physical damage reduction, but they also have Blessing of Protection and Divine Shield, making them very good at stopping teams that rely on high bursts to get kills. As far as Ret Paladins go, they have extremely bursty damage thanks to Seal Twisting and getting random procs from Wind Fury Totem since they usually run with a Shaman. If the Ret Paladins team does have a Shaman, make sure you are killing that Wind Fury Totem, seeing as 90% of their kills require it. For Holy Paladins, they rely extremely heavily on casting, seeing as all they have is one Holy Shock, and after that they must cast to get heals. So if you're able to kick the casts on the Holy Paladin and or get a Curse of Tongues on them, and just slow down their overall casts, you're pretty much going to set yourself up for a win. As far as cooldowns go, there are a handful that you should be tracking. Up first is Hammer of Justice. This is an essential ability for Paladins, especially Rets, seeing as they will almost always be using it to land a kill. Since it only has a 45-second cooldown, they will have 2 Hammer of Justices in between your trinket timer, so be very mindful of which Hodge you trinket, since almost all of their kills revolve around you not having a trinket and them landing a Hodge. Next up is Blessing of Protection. This is a very unique ability since it removes all physical effects from any target that it's casted on. This means if you disarm someone, the Paladin can bop them, instantly removing the disarm because it is a physical ability. This can be done with any of them like Blind, Mortal Strike, Kidney Shot, etc. Keep in mind though, Bop is dispellable with any dispel and can even be spell stolen by a mage. Divine Shield is a very famous spell that I'm sure you've seen and are aware of, makes them invulnerable, and also increases their swing speed by 100%, making them do less damage significantly. This can only be removed with a Mass Dispel. Avenging Wrath, or Wings as it's commonly referred to, is an extremely powerful ability that Rets have. When activated, it increases all the damage they do by 30% for a short time. Whenever they pop this, they are looking for a kill and can actually land it, so be aware of that. If you ignore Wings, and they also have a Shaman with Wind Fury Totem, a Ret can literally 100 to O you, so don't sleep on this ability. Blessing of Freedom is an insanely powerful ability that removes all movement impairing effects off of whoever the Paladin casts it on for a short duration. It is very, very important that you dispel this off of the Ret or whoever they put it on, seeing as Rets don't actually have a gap closer, so they use Freedom to get to their targets, and if you're removing that Freedom with a dispel instantly, you're basically making it so they have to choose a different target, which is very, very strong and puts you ahead. Repentance is an ability that Ret Paladins have. This is commonly used by them to either hold someone in place so they can get to them, and or CC a healer while trying to kill a DPS in a Hodge. You must be very mindful of when they have Repentance up, seeing as Rets are extremely cooldown dependent and rely on both Hodge and Rep used in tandem to get kills in most situations. For some quick tips against this class, make sure you are always dispelling Hand of Sacrifice off of the kill target before opening on them, seeing as it will break CCs on the Paladin if you don't do that. Also be aware that Reflective Shield for Priests will actually break Paladins out of CC, even if no one hits the kill target. So for example, if you put Blessing of Sacrifice on this Rogue like the Paladin did, it will now transfer some damage that the Rogue takes onto the Paladin. That means that when this Paladin gets polymorphed, and the Rogue hits me with Reflective Shield, it's now going to damage the Rogue and break the Paladin out. So hits me, broken, there you go. And as you can see, it's super important to take off Blessing of Sacrifice, seeing as it could break the healer out of CC and or the Ret if you didn't even hit them. Rets also rely extremely heavily on Wind Fury Totem and will almost always be running with a Shaman because of this. If you are not killing a Wind Fury Totem, you are literally giving the Paladin a massive advantage by possibly doubling their damage and giving them one-shot potential, so always, always, always kill Wind Fury Totem. When a Paladin runs with a Priest, be aware that they have double dispel on magic effects. This is extremely important in 3s to pay attention to, seeing as what will happen is you will polymorph one, and then the Ret or Priest will just dispel them. This forces you to use your CCs in tandem, for example, fearing the Ret while polymorphing the Priest, vice versa, or covering it if you're by yourself, so you could even polymorph the Priest and then blanket the Ret so they can't dispel it. If you don't use your CCs in tandem, you will never land any CC, seeing as it will always just be dispelled. And that pretty much covers the Paladin. We only have 2 more classes to cover in the How to Kill series, so definitely sub if you want to check that out. I am also working on a bunch of TBC to Wrath of the Lich King videos for Arena, so keep your eyes out for those. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.